on my way back from my buddy Billy's. He and I went together on an order for Steiner's. I'm working on his tractor to get his tractor that hasn't been run in about 20 years up and running. So he had a couple things he needed to get, and I wanted to get a stainless muffler for my tractor. So I'm on my way back, and can't wait to put the muffler on the tractor and start it up and hear what it sounds like. So the muffler that I have on there right now that came with the tractor is very thin because it's rusted from the inside. Looked really good, had a nice flat black coat of paint on it, but that's not going to work with it having holes in it and blowing exhaust gases all over. It'd be nice to get those exhaust gases up and over as you're driving. So anyway, can't wait to show you guys what it looks like and hear what it sounds like with the new muffler on. I'm back from my buddy Billy's, and I got a beautiful stainless muffler. I mean, this thing is nice. Look at this. This looks like a high quality unit. I'm really happy about this. Can't wait to stick it on, take the other one off, and put this one on and hear what it sounds like. So I'm going to put it back in the box for now. And let's see, wrenches. 11/16 and 5/8 according to the parts book. These are the right length. I'm not happy with it. The bolts didn't even come out, but I also did not sock this down into the manifold. So that could be where I'm getting it. Some of my leaks from, but 5/8 and 11/16. I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up, and hopefully this will come off relatively easy. I would rather it came off nice and easy from the manifold, but I may have to monkey around with it if it did make in at all and get tight into the manifold. I don't know. We'll see. As you can see, I tried to weld through it, and it just blew holes into it. It's so thin. When I went over to Billy's to pick up the stainless exhaust, I talked to his dad, who obviously has experience with their M tractor, and he told me that they never really got anything more than about 5 years out of a muffler for the M. And he said that they used to run just a straight stack, and they kept having to change that because that would get rusted. So I'm glad I made the choice to go with a stainless muffler. See how hard this is to come off. Oh, nice. Yeah, so as you can see, it's real pitted around here. Like I said, you know, there's probably porosity in this weld. It's just goobered on there because it's, as soon as I put it, and I used a low setting too on heat, but you know, it's like welding to tissue paper. What are you going to do? So I'll take this rain cap off afterwards, but I want to get that stainless exhaust on now. I think I'm going to have to clean up the inside of the manifold. Let me take you in and show you what we got here. The inside of the manifold has some rust. So I'm going to put some paper towels down in this area here to keep anything from going down in there. And I'm going to clean this extra stuff up with a Dremel. It looks like it's supposed to seal on this chamfer. The exhaust itself has a real nice machined end to it. So that's why I think that's where it seals down there on that chamfer. So what I've got to do is take down these high spots along the side, and then we can try and fit this again, because it's not going in there now. Okay, well, I've got my Dremel, and I've got a carbide bit on there, and got some paper towels down in there, hopefully keep the stuff from falling down in, and I'm gonna go and try and clean this up here. I don't know if I'll show you the whole thing or definitely just what we're starting with, but trying to get the high spots down, all that rust there that's keeping me from setting the manifold right down in there. All right, I'm bringing you back in. So I think I've cleaned up all the high spots pretty well. And so what I'm going to do is pull out the paper towel, and then I'm going to use some brake clean on another paper towel and clean down inside there. So I was originally thinking I was going to try and get a vacuum in there, but that just looks to be problematic. So I'll take this out. It's in there really, really tight. So I'll take this out. All right, now I'll clean up the edge and use some brake clean and clean up the edge there and down in the chamfer where I think it's going to seat, the seating surfaces, and then we'll bring you back. Okay, she's all cleaned up now with using the brake clean to kind of get all those pieces of debris out. So I'm going to do a test fit again, and this is, yeah, see, it's still, trying to look at where it's got some scrapes on it. So I think I've got some more work to do to open that up a little bit, unfortunately. And that's one of the reasons why it didn't sit down. The bolts that they called for in the parts manual, and I didn't sock it down because I didn't want to really make that muffler down in there and then not be able to get it out. So I've really come to the conclusion that I've got to get this side cleaned up so that this is a slip fit and then seals against that chamfer down in the bottom there. And what I may have to do is put some high temp RTV silicone, which I've got left over from my install of my pellet stoves, that I can put down in there and just get it to seal a little bit. And after it's got a slip fit, and right now it's not, it's wedged in there, and I'm hitting on some of the high spots still. So I got more to work on. Okay, bringing you back. Oh, a little bit of crust right there, but I'm bringing you back because I cleaned this up more. It's probably hard to see. Helps if I stay out of the light, doesn't it? So you can see that I've got this pretty well pretty well cleaned up. Sorry about that. Pretty well cleaned up all the way along here. So I'm going to go for another test fit and we'll see what happens. No collateral damage using the Dremel. I didn't touch anything else. No other paint got damaged in this process of shooting rust out of here. All right, I'll bring you back for the test fit. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens here. Oh, yes. Oh, that is much better. Still hitting something because it's not perfectly square down there. But boy, is that a lot better. So I think I'll take some measurements and find out if that's indeed bottoming out. You guys that have M's that have done this before, you might know just by looking at it that that's not made in enough. That doesn't look like it's down far enough, but you know, admittedly, there are some areas there on top of that chamfer still that I could work on to try and get that a little bit better, I think. But in any event, I might try and knock a couple of those boogers off and then try it again. But I think she's going to go, and I'll end up with some RTV down there, high temp RTV. I'm sure I'll put it right on the sealing surface first and then put it down in there, and we'll bolt it in and fire it up and see what it sounds like. Okay, I got some of this high temp silicone RTV Red Rouge, and it is good to 600 degrees Fahrenheit or 316 degrees Celsius if you're watching from outside the United States. It's still pliable. It's 40-degree weather out here right at the moment, which is really great when you're running a Dremel and the air is just blowing on your digits. But anyway, I'm going to open this up and see what we can do to put some Red Rouge down in here. You know, I'm wondering if I can even squeeze any out. All right, I'm going to have to cut this open, I think. All right, I cut some more of the tip off, so now we can pour some down in there. Why are you guys having trouble seeing? Probably because I can't hold this thing right in the right spot. But all right, this is gonna be my method to the madness all the way around, and I might even put just a little bit on the side of the muffler. I'll show you if I decide I'm going to do that. I'll show you what I'm doing. Let me just take a second and get this all in there. Let's get the quality control group in here. Does it pass? All right. Let's do some muffler action, and then we'll stick it in the hole. All right, so I decided since the chamfered edge that should seal is going to go against that bead that I already laid in there, I'd do just a little bit on the side, and that way it would smear up in there and get a good seal, secondary seal. So that's kind of my thought process. So we should have this looking good here. If I get my fat tummy out of the way. Should have this looking good here in just a moment. I'm trying to keep paper towel on here, so man, oh man, I do 42 things at once. I don't know how these guys do it with one hand. I'm trying to keep paper towels on here so I don't get my smudgy fingerprints all over, but let's go see how we're doing. Let's insert the madness. Nice and easy. All right, now it's time for some bolts, and then I'll snug her down and see what we got. Okay, the parts book calls out for 7/16, 14 thread by 1 3/4. That's what I was using. I've changed it to 7/16, 14 2-inch, and I don't think it's going to be too long. And truly, it's not really making in any further than that, and that will give me enough room also to hopefully get a washer on the head so that I can spread the load over both of the ears. That's going to bring it down slightly, but I just think that actually might not be very good either. I might have to go with 2 1/4, which might be too long. Let me get some washers and figure out exactly what I'm doing. Okay, these are just put in by hand. The winner is 7/16 14 thread by 2 inch. Right now they're a little shy of making it all the way through the nuts. But you can see that the lock washer also isn't compressed. So, and you know, I've got some adjustment here to allow even take up and bringing it down centered and nice, and have it nice and good looking sticking out the hood. So I'm going to snug these down. 7/16 14 2 with a flat washer underneath and a lock washer. Parts book does not call out for the flat washer. Parts book only calls out for 7/16 14 inch and 3/4 with a lock nut, lock washer and a lock nut. So with this particular manifold, even after cleaning it up, and this particular aftermarket exhaust, I think that's the winner. 7/16 14 by 2. Okay, well, I've got them snugged up. I'm going to leave the hood off at the moment and go ahead and fire it up. I've already checked it's in neutral. Let's see, give myself some ignition. I have not turned the fuel on. I don't know if there's any left in the carb or not, but let's see what we got. I think I like it. Nice. All right. I'm gonna shut her down before I choke myself out. And get some fresh air in here. And head on in for some dinner. And shut her down for the night. I'll put the hood on. And boy, it looks good. All right. That's it for tonight. Bye, y'all.